Mm.
Welcome everybody, glad to have you here. So, and here's Natasha jumping in too. So this is my beautiful, amazing, talented, spectacular wife, Vanessa Jean, who's gracing you this afternoon to share with you some of her information on emotions and essential oils. Vanessa's done tons of these classes, so she's a clinical aromatherapist as well. It's a recent kind of qualification she's attained. So through growing this whole doTERRA business, she's done that with a background of having been using essential oils for 25 plus years, with a particular focus on emotions, and a real passion for families and mothers particularly to be able to teach their children to have essential oils as their natural go-to place when anything comes up, whether it's something that's physical or something that's emotional. So they're kind of Vanessa's passions. But in recent times, while COVID was on and we're all stuck at home, she thought, you know what, I might as well get myself qualified in this as well. But I kind of want to say, having been very close to this experience, that Vanessa's experience and understanding of the essential oils from an emotional and spiritual perspective, as well as a scientific perspective, was so far advanced beyond the course that she went to go and do to get a qualification. So although she has the kind of the piece of paper to prove it all now, you know, her experience and her dedication to the use of essential oils over nearly 3 decades now is immense. So this is a great experience for you guys to just ask questions, you know, throw up sort of scenarios and situations that have been, you know, kind of there for you guys or for anyone that you know or care for in the emotional realm. And we'll let Vanessa Jean bring all of her knowledge and magic to the fore in the call. And so I'll hand over to you, babe. You're up.
Thanks, honey. My gosh, what an introduction, my love. I'll carry you around with me everywhere. Hi, it's great to be here. So great to be here with you all. Okay, so emotions. When we break down the word, we get this glimpse of what it really means, and it's energy in motion. And mostly in our lives, we're conditioned out of emoting. We're conditioned to suppress our emotions, to hide our emotions, to decrease the length of time that we're having an emotional episode. We're taught that we're weak, or we have no backbone if we emote. We're taught that we're less than, that we can't succeed if we emote and show our true emotions. What ends up happening is people end up living in a constant state of sympathetic overdrive. So the body is living in flight, fight, and freeze constantly, because as soon as an emotion comes up, they don't know what to do with it. They have no understanding. It ends up frying our brain. Our neurological pathways go, it's like a glitch in the computer system, because these signals are being fired. Our body is responding chemically with emotions, and we're trying to put a lid on those emotions. And the more we do that, the more we end up kind of like, you know, a volcano, a volcano just waiting to erupt. And the eruption happens in different ways. It can show up with, you know, a cracked exterior, which can show up in our health, things showing up on our skin, and we have no idea where they've come from. Headaches, migraines, poor immune system, like no robustness about our immunity. And of course, mental health issues, wide and varied, from anxiety and panic attacks to much more extensive and crippling dis-ease in the mind and the body. So emotions are real, and emotions need to have space to be expressed. And today, what I'd love to explore with you is single note essential oils, blends that doTERRA has made, but also blends that we can create ourselves, some powerful master blends that we can lean into. And one of the most powerful ways for us to create a blend that works for us is to tie the blend or the single essential oil, and it could just be a blend that doTERRA's made that you love. Like, I am loving Citrus Bloom right now. I love it when they release this baby, Coast is another one I'm loving right now, and I'm just finding them really soothing. And you just need to smell them, notice how you feel, notice how your body responds. And what you can do is you can create an aromatic anchor with that essential oil. So here's what happens. I take a deep breath. Let's just look at Citrus Bloom. Take a deep breath. I feel joy. I feel peaceful. I have all these associations with love and home because I'm diffusing it in our home so much. And I feel connection with family and my heart space. So I can create an aromatic anchor with Citrus Bloom to any one of those sensations, feelings, the emotion of joy. Yeah. And so every time I put this on me, whether I place it in fractionated coconut oil and aromatically dress in it, or make my own roller bottle with it and anoint myself, or every time I diffuse it or put it in a spritzer bottle and spritz it, I am going to be teleported back to that anchor I've created of joy. From the moment you inhale your essential oils, you'll feel almost instant change. Some sort of transformation begins because the essential oil molecules are so tiny that they're able to pass through the blood-brain barrier. Let me tell you a little bit about this so that when we go into question time a little bit later, you can understand maybe what you'd like to create for yourselves. So those tiny little aromatic molecules travel up the nasal cavity. They're going into the nose. And if you imagine at the top of our nose, there's like a roof there, a roof, and it's semi-permeable, right? And these tiny essential oil molecules can travel up through that ceiling, that roof that's there, and they enter the brain. That's the blood-brain barrier. They're passing through the blood-brain barrier. And you'll hear when you learn about essential oils that they go to the limbic system and they actually reach the brain, and they're affecting all of the brain, so we can recondition and reprogram any way we choose with these powerful aromatic anchors. The limbic system is the emotional control center, and it is the part of the brain where we can form memories. So I have a powerful aromatic anchor with frankincense. I don't go anywhere without any frankincense. I take my touch with me everywhere. I take the 15 ml with me everywhere. If we run out of frankincense, I mean, it's just unheard of. We don't, because we just make sure we have lots of frankincense all the time. So you'll hear Paul sometimes, when we used to, present around the world, and he'd jump on the stage and he'd say, yes, well, I'm under no illusion. For Vanessa, her first love is the kids, and then it's frankincense, and then, I don't know, I'm somewhere after all that.
These guys are laughing because I think I already told them that story.
Yeah. I have a torrid love affair with frankincense. I love him. You'll hear me say I'm a frankincense whore, I'm a frankincense acolyte, I'm a frankincense priestess, like all of it, you see? So I have these powerful aromatic anchors, these associations with frankincense, because I feel like I return to my natural state with frankincense. I come back to my peace. I come back to my center. I come back to my joy. I come back to my gratitude. I have very deep meditations. I feel like I'm connected with Source. He's like a direct line to the divine with me, So we have these powerful aromatic anchors. And what happens is we can alter what's happening in our brain with that. We can alter how our body responds with that. And we can take ourselves out of this constant state of sympathetic overdrive the sympathetic system being your flight, fight, freeze, for those that came on later, to help activate the parasympathetic system, which is rest and digest, assimilate, retreat, restore, sleep. Once you go into your parasympathetic system, you can prepare your body to wind down for sleep without having all those thoughts running. Yeah. Okay. So you can use your essential oils 3 ways then. One is aromatically, just inhaling them out of the body. Super powerful. Out of the bottle, sorry. Well, out of the body too. We become human diffusers, don't we, ladies? We're such human diffusers. So out of the bottle and just taking 3 deep breaths, or just putting a little drop on your hand like this, your frankincense or lavender or whatever you're choosing, and just do you all have an essential oil near you right now? Dare I ask? Yeah. So maybe just, if you do have one, take one and put a little dab on your palm and just take a couple of breaths. Notice how you're feeling before you inhale. Just take note. How do I feel right now? And then I want you to take a deep breath and then notice how you're feeling after you take a few deep breaths. And then what's left over on your hands, you can just zhuzh over your clothes because you rubbed them in. And then over your hair, if you want, human diffusers. I did say it. So you can work with single note essential oils. You can work with bringing 3 essential oils together and making a powerful blend for yourselves, or 3 or 5 or however many you like. You can just work with the touch oils, or of course you can work with the existing doTERRA blends. You have lots you can work with. So using them aromatically, you can use them like I just showed you, straight out the bottle, in your palms, in your diffuser, also in a spritzer bottle, just with water, really good quality water, or you can put some witch hazel. I've got so many recipes on my website, and if you're following me on Instagram, it's at Food Alchemy, and there's heaps in there. So you can do your own little spritzers. And then, of course, we can use them topically, which is super powerful. So the touch oils, any doTERRA roller bottles that have touch in it, means that they're already suspended in fractionated coconut oil. So this is fantastic if you feel like your emotions are spinning out of control, right? You feel like you really want to reclaim where you're at, then just with the touch oils, you can just put them straight on you. Yeah, they're diluted and they're safe and they're ready to go on, and that becomes like your pure fume and also an anchor for you. Essential oil blends in roller bottles like past tense. They're like a pulse point. You just put them in certain areas. They're undiluted, so you can either decant them and put them with fractionated coconut oil, or use them as they are. So past tense in this way is fantastic for a mind that feels overcome by thoughts. You feel overwrought, anxious, foggy, like your mind is going too fast. And of course, you can put the frankincense touch with that. A great place to anoint yourself is the occipital region. So if you take your hand and you place it at the nape of your neck, just where it meets the skull, you'll feel that dip. You can just put some past tense there. On your crown, if you're feeling particularly foggy. And this is for frankincense, peppermint, or past tense. Yeah, just depends what you like. And then when you're using them, say to relieve head tension, you've got a lot of head tension and your mind's going like a million miles an hour. If you want to cool that down, it's a good idea to use something like past tense or peppermint. And you take it and you're going to place it along the hairline and on the crown, and then you're going to just massage that in. And if you imagine there's like little fat sacks, at the base of your hair follicles, and they just suck in the essential oils, right? So that's a great way to bring the essential oils into your body. I'm very much pro dilution. I love the idea of putting them in carrier oil and aromatically dressing. So the other way that I do it is I just take like a small bowl, and I do a couple of squirts of the doTERRA fractionated coconut oil or whatever carrier oil you like. You can even blend your carrier oils, of course, or you can use the doTERRA unscented hand and body lotion. And you just put a couple of squirts, 10 to 15 mils in a bowl, and then you put your blend in. So to choose the blend that you want, something that can be really helpful is, one, beginning with becoming aware of how you're feeling and just sitting in the space of that for a few breaths. And then the second part to that is, how would you like to feel? What are you calling in? What would feel really good for you? So let's say you have a combination of, becoming aware of having all this neck and shoulder tension and head tension, and you feel really grumpy and grouchy and short-tempered and impatient. And you're just like, I've got so much to do, and I've still got to tend to the kids and make dinner, and So you might think to yourself, what can I feel will support me through that? So you might choose a blend of frankincense, lavender, and copaiba and lemongrass. So lemongrass is quite strong, right? So you could just put 1 drop of lemongrass, 2 of lavender, 2 of frankincense, and maybe 2 or 3 of copaiba, and say 15 mils carrier oil. So a safe way to know how many drops of essential oils is just whatever, for an adult, whatever amount you've got in carrier oil, say it's 10 mils, around 5 or 6 drops total. If it's 15 mils, you want to go kind of between 7 and 8. If you're using really gentle oils, a little bit more is fine. It's not going to hurt you, but you don't want to use really hot oils and too much of that in there, If you're doing something like cinnamon bark, maybe just 1 drop of that, yeah? And to know what to choose for how many drops of everything, because who here has the book that Adam Barrelay and I wrote, which is Gifts of the Essential Oils? Who here has that? Okay, so if you don't, you really want to get this into your life. I mean, look how beautiful she is. Let me just take out my bookmarks and paper. Can you see that? She's so beautiful. We have over 100 essential oils in there, and we have a 2-page dedication. And 1 whole page is dedicated to master blends, but you'll notice we don't put number of drops. And the reason is because we love everyone to be empowered to just choose what feels good for them. But I know that that can become a little confronting or overwhelming, especially if you're just beginning your journey. So let me show you something. Let me just hold 3 for now, just for ease. But so they're your 3 bottles. Let's just say frankincense, lavender, and lemongrass. What you're going to do is you're just going to take the tops off all the bottles, and then you're going to smell them, just all at even levels under your nose. Inhale them deeply, lids off, okay? And then just notice what you want more of, what you want less of. So for me, it would be, say, 3 drops of frankincense, 2 of lemongrass, and 1 of lavender. And if I wanted to add copaiba to that, there's not much scent in there. I would just lock him in there, take a deep breath, and say 1 each of, copaiba, 2 of 2 and 2, whatever you like, right? But what's furthest away from your nose is the least amount of drops. Then you've got the mid, that's the next level. And then the ones that are closest to your nose, that's what you'll focus on. That's what you'll have the most number of drops in. Does that make sense? And you'll notice, different books have different beautiful associations for you. So what I invite you to do is feel what resonates with you. So let's take that blend, for example, frankincense, lavender, lemongrass, copaiba in your fractionated coconut oil, and you've just gotten out of the shower or bath, and you're still in your goddess-given nakedness, right? And you're going to dip and rub and get this over your body. This is a self-love ritual. This is hydrating your skin. It's feeding and nourishing your skin. It's also really looking after your emotional body, your spirit body, your mental body, as well as this beautiful, huge, it's the largest organ of our body, our skin. And so you're going to start from the bottom of your legs, and work your way up in big circular motions, like a lymphatic massage, massaging these essential oils all over your body. Get your back, your neck, your breasts, your belly, all of it. And tell your body, if you like, how much you love it. And this is the challenge, you know. We're really mean to ourselves. My hand's the first one up. So mean to myself about my body. So, you know, we bring these essential oils in to support us and to support our nervous system, our central nervous system. Like, all of us is going to benefit from this. And then what you can do is you can choose an essential oil to layer with, and she or he becomes like your perfume. So say you want to add some jasmine to feel yummy and sensual, and maybe jasmine's really calming for you and enhances your senses. Sensuality is about enhancing your senses, connecting you in love with yourself, with others. So jasmine is a beautiful one. It's my husband's favorite floral. And jasmine touch, safe, right? Infractionated coconut oil, get it straight on your skin and anoint yourself wherever you like, wherever you feel you want that support. At night, what I really love to do, and that is a great one for those who follow the moon, this is a great full moon floral. The white florals are really good for the moon, right? And then what I love to do is I love to take Magnolia every night. See, she's almost finished. Got another one waiting for me at home. And I roll her around my eyes. She's so safe, so gentle, under my nose, across my forehead, just bringing me calm. Swipe under my nose, over my throat, over my heart, my wrists. So when I fall asleep, I'm smelling her. If I feel like my mind's going really fast, I line her along here like I showed you earlier. Yeah. So Magnolia, aside from being high in linalool and other beautiful chemical compounds that bring relaxation for us, so you know, when you hear about linalool, that's from the alcohols, right? And the alcohols, and especially found in the floral kingdom, they're deeply, deeply soothing and calming and tranquilizing. That's why you hear those words a lot, soothing and calming, because they actually are. They will soothe and calm you. If you feel like your nervous system's like fried, turn to these. But you also have this emotional, beautiful recalibration that happens with the floral kingdom, right? So for Magnolia, so again, in this book, I know a lot of you have it, so it's easy to refer. You'll see we have 3 key words. My gift to you is a beautiful practice, an affirmation, and then all about the actual essential oil and how this plant helps you. So let's say, for instance, Magnolia, my gift to you is reassurance. And one of the key words is solace. There's also grandmother wisdom and forgiveness. And you could be like, oh my gosh, I just want to enter that space of solace. So this is what you can do. You can just say, inhale it, take deep breaths of her, anoint yourself with her, and you can create the aromatic anchor with some words now, like an affirmation or a mantra. I enter the space of solace to gain wisdom and understanding. And then you anoint yourself where you want to feel calmer, up and down your spine. That's another really good point. The tip of your big toe, it's the head in reflexology, and over your whole big toe. You can use some vetiver to deepen that and support that even more, right? If you feel lost, really lost, does anyone ever feel that? Who am I? I'm just lost in this world and the chaos, right? I know our teens do as well, and our kids. Copaiba brings the gift of knowing thyself. Knowing thyself. So, you know, this could be one that you anoint on your crown chakra, and your third eye. Yeah. And you can layer with frankincense. So the layering of the topical application, remember talking about how to use it and the effects it has, is what's happening is they're entering our bloodstream, they're blessing our organs, they're blessing our whole self, right? Our emotional and spirit and mental body are deeply blessed by them also, as we know. So what happens when you layer, let's use Copaiba touch and frankincense touch as examples. could have done Copaiba and rose, it doesn't matter. So let's say I'm using Copaiba just up and down here, these meridians along here. I'm going to give the Copaiba time to absorb and just really rub that in. Inhale. And then once that's absorbed, I'm going to layer with the frankincense and then rub that in. So they enter at 2 different times, and then they start to weave their melodies together into our body. It's just really powerful. It's just like, you know, taking a sip of water and drinking your water, and then later maybe having some fresh juice. That's what it's like. You know, you're just giving to your body, you're nourishing your body in 2 different ways. So what I'd really love to do with you now is look at what are your needs, and how can I support you with some master blends that you can create. And a master blend, very simply, is you can use these bottles. You know, when you finish your doTERRA bottles, you can take the label off and put a different label so you know what's what. But what you do is you will fill your 15 ml essential oil bottle, or 5 ml if you're just using a 5 ml, with just pure essential oils, a melody of pure essential oils. So you might choose one from our book. You might choose one right now that we make for you right now. And then from this master blend, you're going to decant to that, and you can use that in your diffuser just as it is. You can use it in a roller bottle and top it up with fractionated coconut oil and or other carrier oils. You can add some to a spritzer bottle and top it up with water or witch hazel or whatever you like. Does that make sense? But when you make the master blends, you want to let them sit for 8 to 10 weeks. You know, around 3 months is good. Kind of 8 to 12 weeks is a good time. And use them with intention and use them with focus. If you don't want to do that, you can just make yourself a blend in, you know, a roller bottle, add a few drops in a 10 ml roller bottle, name it something, and that's your beautiful blend, you know, or just diffuse them however you like. Does that make sense? Is that helpful? And the last way to use our essential oils is in flavoring, food flavoring. I personally really love to use them as like nourishment and medicine for my body. So I put them in capsules, like veggie capsules. I'm plant-based, so if you prefer gelatin, go for it. But I use veggie capsules. And I'll put like some frankincense, again, frankincense, lavender, lemongrass, and copaiba, let's say, to support my body, that tension we're talking about, which is from suppressed emotions. And I'll put like 1 or 2 drops of each, and then top it up with olive oil or avocado oil or hemp seed oil or whatever oil, beautiful organic cold pressed oil you have at home, you know, an edible oil that you'd use to dress your salads or put in your smoothies. Yeah. So that's what I do. And it's beautiful in, you know, making beautiful olive oil bottles or whichever oil you love to do, and adding essential oils to dress your food and your smoothies, like I said, and your acai bowls and whatever it is you're doing. Why am I mentioning taking them internally in this way? One is because when you bind them, when you put them to a fat, the essential oils bind to the fat, and that makes it a safe way to bring the essential oils into our body. I'm not really a fan, to be honest, of just grabbing essential oils and chucking it back like that. I'm sorry, I'm not. So you won't really hear me talking about this and teaching this ever. But if you want to make a tea, you know, I love the whole idea of, you know, brewing beautiful fresh herbs and then taking a teaspoon of honey or coconut oil, ghee for those that have it, just whatever fat you want to use, and put your essential oil on that and stir that into your teapot or your teacup. And of course, you can just have the essential oil like that in your warm water as well. Yeah, in a bottle of water or however you do it. Yeah. How's that, everyone? Has that been a helpful kind of introduction into that realm? And of course, when I talk emotions, this is about the spiritual as well, you know. Maybe emotions is just easier for people to digest. I don't know, but to me, it's all I work on my whole system. I do not deny my spirit self. I don't deny my divinity. And when I take people on journeys in all of the courses that I do, I never separate anything, because this physical body to me is what's inhabiting the infinite spirit that is us, the light of our divinity. This physical body is inhabiting that. I don't really see it as the other way around. Divine spark exists within every part of us, but we are, we're here. We're here for it. We're here for this adventure called life. And sometimes it's not so cruisy or easy, but it is simple. It is simple when we have these beautiful gifts from Mama Gaia to lean into and to work with as our allies. Okay, so hopefully you've had a think about what kinds of blends you'd like. I love working intuitively with essential oils and blends. So if you're up for that, I'm happy. I mean, there's only, what are there? There's 9 of us. So I can definitely get through 9 in the next 20 minutes. You can each take a turn if you like to unmute and share with me and share with the group. Sorry, that's a phone call trying to come through. If you're comfortable to share in this space, what would you like less of in your life? So you don't have to go into the story or anything, because obviously it's being recorded. That's private for you. What would you like less of in your life? And that can just be for you to know, or you can share it. What I really want to know is, what would you like more of? What would you like to summon forth into being in your life? What would that look like? I can't wave a wand and just give you a 4x2 house in the, on 100 acres or anything. So we're not talking about that kind of thing. We're talking about in your inner world. Yeah. So why don't you just close your eyes for a moment and just become really aware of your breath. And whatever beautiful sense floating around you, the sounds. Notice how you're feeling. And just bring your awareness to your breath. Just notice it floating in and out of your body. Your belly rising with the in-breath and then just gently falling back as though to the spine on each exhalation. And if you could for a moment just become aware of one thing that you would like less of in your life right now. An emotion or the way you interact or feeling state, a mental state, a spiritual state, something you want less of. Just become aware of that. And inhale and exhale and just release. And now become aware of what you would like more of. And this can be a sense of calm or joy, but it could also be something like boundaries or being able to say no, being able to say yes, being able to open yourself to love, being more creative. Like, what is it that you would like to call to you now? And then just taking a deep breath, breathing that in and exhaling. And when you're ready, let's go around the circle. And if you like, I can bring some essential oils through. And also I will say, Amy, I've got you. You can stay unmuted, that's fine. Also, I'd like to say, if during any of that time you felt an impression of essential oils for you that would serve you, because the next step of that is notice which essential oils are walking towards you to support you in what you would like more of and what you would like less of. Write those down. Yeah, empower yourself. You know better than me, better than anyone. I just want to have some fun with you and share some blends because we're doing this class. Amy, yes.
Okay, so right now I've I'm covered my legs in this, and I'm literally crying because it's so strong. So I don't know if that's a thing that I need to bring in as strength, but I want to. So I was terribly heartbroken over the last year, and so I think what I want less of is trying to please. So I don't want to try and change myself for anybody else. I want to just be okay with being me. And yeah, I want to be open to trust and be open to love, but only if it's, loving me for who I am, not me trying to be more feminine or more less loud or, all of those things. I just want to be able to be me and not be the chameleon that I've been my whole life.
That's so powerful. Thank you so much for sharing that with us, Amy. How many of you can relate to that in your lives? We adapt, we change, we mold. Interesting you say that. I've got this right by me, and I've been using flat out as well. One beautiful, there's so many beautiful essential oils in here. I mean, I love the blue tansy as well, which is your dreams and dreamscape. But one oil I want to really bring to your mind here. Well, in this one, there's Copaiba as well, so a bit different to your mix, but basically the same, is the wintergreen. And, wintergreen has that pinky color. Yep. Paul and I have been to Nepal, we've seen it come straight out, and it's this beautiful pink color. And she's a beautiful essential oil for the heart, mending the heart, and also surrendering to divine love, opening ourselves to divine love. So, aside from the amazing physical support, the deep blue or ice blue for Australia, New Zealand market brings, it has phenomenal emotional and mental support, for us. So essential oils that you can look at is, so the barks are great for when we feel we're overprotecting ourselves and we're not letting love in, because there's a time in our lives where we just need to kind of protect, shield up a little. But then there comes a time where we're being invited to love ourselves more deeply again, so that we can stand in the presence of who we truly are, authentically and powerfully. And when we miss that little invitation, it can bring us more heartache, right, ladies? So the barks, cinnamon or cassia, help to dissolve that over-armoring. So you could look at one of those in the diffuser as well with whatever you're blending. If you're putting it on your body, just a tiny amount, because they're such hot oils. So wintergreen, the barks. Then you also have essential oils like geranium and marjoram and Roman chamomile that bring this gentleness, this sweet caress, this nurturing, nourishing feeling to us. And I would invite you to bring in one of the big trees, like a Siberian fir or a black spruce, because they afford us with that fresh perspective while holding us and nurturing us, or Douglas fir for you, that holding point, that haven to turn into. So you could look at Douglas fir with cinnamon bark, or cassia, whichever one you prefer the scent of. Something like green mandarin, which is that joyous, playful heartedness.
Yeah.
And, for yourself, because you said not turning into the chameleon, you could add some Copaiba in there.
Yeah, I'm in love with Copaiba right now.
Yeah. So
awesome. Thank you so much.
Yeah, such a pleasure.
Using all of those oils a lot recently. So
great.
Ordered cinnamon bark because I'm ready to, sexy up again.
Yeah, you do it, sister. You do it. And of course, lots of rose touch. Lay a rose touch over your heart.
I can't.
Over the back of your heart, lots and lots of rose.
Can't use rose. It was the rose that broke my heart. So I'm moving on to geranium and jasmine.
Oh, right. So what would be powerful for you is to create a new aromatic anchor with rose when you're ready.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. Thank
And
you.
in the meantime, you can use Magnolia.
Oh, Magnolia is just my queen oil.
Yeah, just for me too. Yeah. I love it. Thanks. Thank you
so much. That's amazing.
My pleasure. Who would like to go next? You don't all have to if you don't want to, but the offer's there if you want to. Cheryl.
So when I was thinking about what I'd want less of, I think it seems like I've got this voice in the back of my head a lot of the time that just second guesses my intuition and kind of, just often indecisive about things, and even kind of speaking, sometimes I get muddled up with my words because meanwhile my brain is saying, no, don't say that, say something else. So I think what I would like more of is feeling a bit more decisive and backing myself, I guess.
I like that.
Not necessarily confidence, but just, backing myself is the only way I can describe it.
Like trusting what comes through and following through on those impulses or those nudges.
Yeah, and being less distracted by what that kind of other part of my brain is, arguing with me.
Yeah, gorgeous. Love it. So if you'd like to, you can try clary sage, rosemary, juniper berry, and blue tansy.
Ooh.
Yeah. And frankincense is just hovering there. So maybe frankincense, you can add some or use the frankincense touch and layer with him, whatever you like. But this is very much about that connection to your divinity and where the others are leaning in with that sacred feminine energy, he's coming in to support you with the sacred masculine and that reminder that they both coexist harmoniously within us all. Yeah.
Cool. Thank you very much.
Pleasure. Anyone else? Miranda, you're about to unmute?
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, and apologies again for being late. I had a chatty 4-year-old who wanted to talk to our neighbour as we walked home from daycare. And so I embraced that for my little empowered woman. I guess for me, it's amazing. Thank you so much. I put the frankincense in my hands and did the big deep inhale, and I've had a cracking headache all day, to the point that I was having a nap this afternoon to try and get rid of it. And it's sort of disappeared. And when you said to us, close your eyes and call in with the oils that you think that you need as well, Frankie was popping up for me, it was there. Obviously, it's already served me. And I think for me, because my little girl, Zoe, who many of you know, is going to be in daycare 5 days a week next year, I'm in this mode of stepping into my business more. And I'm a women's empowerment and fertility coach and run women's circles. And I, fully embrace the feminine side of my nature. But as soon as I need to step into that masculine, that's when the stress, and I've been working back to back, I think, for the last 3 nights of working and a 6:30 a.m. networking call this morning. And I want to step into that more, but I'm also really conscious of not tipping the balance too much, because I love that peaceful flow. That's a mantra of my business, and I believe we can all find our own peaceful flow. So I guess I want less of the stress that's come up, or the headaches from burning the candle at both ends, more time for self-love, more conscious time for that. But more balance, I guess, as I navigate, having a feminine energy business that requires a bit of that masculine that you were just talking about.
Beautiful. So I'll just share with you the oils that are popping up, and you can do what you like with them.
Thank you.
Lang ylang,
Yes, love it.
pink pepper, lang ylang, pink pepper, Copaiba, spearmint, and cedarwood. And there is, I keep getting a little waft of arbor vitae, so a touch of arbor vitae to that too. Yeah.
Beautiful. And explain to me a little bit, if you will, the benefits of some of those I'm familiar with and some of them not so much.
Okay, tell me what you're not familiar with and I'll speak.
So ylang ylang, I love. I have that and use that a lot. Spearmint, I use a lot in circles for speaking and opening the throat chakra. Arbor vitae, I haven't used. And cedarwood I have, but I've never used it. I've got it in my collection, but I haven't known what to do with it yet. Let
me tell you a bit more about spearmint because it's not just for speaking.
Right.
Spearmint, my gift to you is deeper seeking. So spearmint, deeper seeking. And the affirmation we've placed with her is, I listen to the whispers of my soul. So the 3 keywords are comprehension, silence, and expression. So rather than to continually seeking to be understood, you seek to understand. So this is just from our book. Did you say you had this one?
I've got it. Yeah, I've got it. So I'll have a look later.
You can go more deeply into spearmint there and really just feel the gift spearmint brings. And if you go to the front section of our book, in the earth section, you'll find both arbor vitae and cedarwood.
Okay, great.
The arbor vitae for me is also like this beautiful, like arbor vitae, sandalwood, frankincense. They have this beautiful lineage behind them of the divine. They're like these beautiful conduits of divine light, and they help us to stand strong in that. So my gift to you is steadfastness, says arbor vitae, and it has this beautiful repelling quality to repel what doesn't serve you, like that beautiful cocoon of light around you, just sending it back to love while giving you that divine assistance. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Cedarwood's a beautiful essential oil because the actual cedarwood tree, they extend upwards and outwards, and it's like their branches and their roots. The roots of trees are supporting each other. So the cedarwood are coming in together. They create this circle, this strong community, like sentinels of the forest, you know. Their arms extend outwards to each other. They create this real grounded strength. That's their gift to us, grounded strength. So we stand in community with that place, from within that place. But also cedarwood brings simplicity.
Yeah.
And that's pretty much what humanity needs more of than anything right now, because we're being called to return to love. So emotionally, spiritually, physically, mentally, we can kind of come back to that place of living more simply, expressing more simply, listening, so that we can put our light out into the world, filling our cup constantly, you know, and simplicity also means, you know, for me, cedarwood and these oils, they bring us into a space of opening a door for us to come into more sacred ritual or ceremony, if you prefer that word, for the self. Like Amy was talking about, I just want to love me and not feel like I have to be anything for anyone else. And so I'm tossing between being a pink chameleon, then a purple one, then I've got polka dots, and, you know, and I'm jostling constantly, you know, and I think that that's true for a lot of humanity right now. Where are you being the chameleon, and where are you not serving yourself? Chameleons are beautiful, just like everything else, but do you need to lessen your capacity to connect with others and bring community together? So cedarwood's affirmation is actually, I'm at home with my tribe.
Beautiful.
You know, which is what you're doing in your empowerment. Was there another one that you said you needed to know about?
No, pink pepper.
Pink pepper.
Yeah.
So pink pepper is a beautiful heart chakra essential oil, and pink pepper is one that helps us to come back to a place of true love, that true-hearted love. You see? Beautiful. So pink pepper in our book, you'll find her in the fire element. She's with the fruits. Okay. So the citruses and the berries. Yeah. So where black pepper works very deeply with the shadow aspect, the pink pepper here is working with the light of love.
Beautiful.
She helps us to be more discerning with what we say yes to, what we say no to, what we allow into our energetic sphere. She brings clarity. She helps us to listen to our heart in everything, to be led by the song in our heart. She helps us to manifest with love, to create with love. Yeah, so that's
I love that. Thank you. Boundaries has been a big intention for me for November, and I've said no to a lot of things, so that resonates a lot. Thank you so much.
Pleasure. Thank you. Anyone else?
I would like to share. Sorry for not having a camera, but my camera is broken.
No problem.
And I would like a less doubting myself, almost like self-judgment kind of. So like I'm pretty good with catching it with other people when I'm listening how they speak. And I would like to do more of it with myself. And what I would like to bring more to my energy field is to allow myself to receive, because I feel like I'm blocking that. Don't know why, but yeah.
Yeah, beautiful. So in the back of this book, we have a whole index as well, if you've noticed, and you can look up words like self-doubt and confidence and love and, you know, those kinds of things. I want to just bring your awareness for a moment to the essential oil of cumin. So doTERRA has this at different times. It's a limited time oil often, but cumin is in the seeds. It's a seed. And in our book, we have it in the element of Akasha, which is the spirit. And the seeds represent our capacity to kind of go to that place of the unknown. So we just call it the void. And it's the place that is so spacious. It's just pure unconditional love. And we are met with the infinite realm of possibilities in that space. So we can create what we want in there. For cumin, this is about proceeding with confidence. So when you feel like you want that bolstering, that's what you can do with cumin. Yeah, so he came through. Also fennel. So fennel is one we can get, you know, pretty much all the time. So in terms of what you were just saying there, Christina, fennel says, my gift to you is choice. And the three words are coping, digesting, and insight. So giving us that capacity to digest life with more ease. Digesting the emotions, digesting the doubt, like meeting the self-doubt, looking at it, and almost like, thank you. I know you're here and you feel you're protecting me. And you feel that without you, maybe I can't go on, that I won't be safe in this world. But I just want to say thank you, and I can do this. I can do this without the self-doubt. So if you would like to align with me in a new way, let's do that. Let's become belief together. So fennel is that reminder that we always have a choice. Just because you've been living with self-doubt or anxiety or whatever it may be for a long, long time, doesn't mean you always have to. Fennel says, let me remind you that you have choice. And fennel is a great one to anoint to the upper chakras when you're meditating with like Copaiba, frankincense, juniper berry, clary sage, rosemary, any of those that you love to meditate with, because fennel helps us to have that greater insight, that deeper connection, you see? So then with fennel, something like wild orange, coming back to the joy, the peace, the serenity, the knowingness of who I am, which is joy, which is love, which is expansiveness, which is gratitude. You know, wild orange brings us into all of those spaces so beautifully. So wild orange, fennel, and something like spearmint or peppermint, if you prefer. The mints would be so beautiful here, because spearmint is more like the night mint. So spearmint has these relaxing qualities. Peppermint is more like if you feel like you just want that real fresh uplift and energizing, whereas peppermints is fresh, soothing, and relaxing. Being leaves in the leaf kingdom and the element of air, they help us to focus on what we do want rather than what we don't want. So fennel's reminding us we have a choice, and the mints are saying, okay, you've chosen now let's bring your focus to that. Let's bring your focus narrowed right in. Yeah. And then you could add something like tea tree or eucalyptus, or both if you wanted. So tea tree, again, with white flowers, has this nurturing lunar aspect, but tea tree is about mothering yourself, nurturing yourself, caring for yourself, even through the waves of self-doubt. How would you speak to a child who came to you doubting themselves and turning that onto yourself? Tea tree is also very energetically protective. So protecting you particularly when you're vulnerable, from impressions others leave upon you and words that they would say about you. Maybe they're doing it out of what they believe is your best interest, but they're telling you who you are or how you should be. And that doesn't necessarily serve, right? And the eucalyptus brings this energy of vigor, of protection. The eucalyptus and tea tree together will cleanse and clear yourself and your space of those unwanted energies. While at the same time, eucalyptus is inviting you to take a deep, deep breath, deep into your belly and your lungs, and to open yourself again to receive life and her precious gifts, the blessings that life wants to bestow upon you. So yes, eucalyptus and tea tree are great for cleansing and clearing and cleaning, but that's for ourselves as well, like cleansing and cleaning up the thoughts and the emotions and the negative self-talk that aren't serving us. We can stay in this cycle that keeps us in this same place, a holding point that doesn't serve us. And that's what keeps us in that flight or freeze or fight, that a lot of humans are kind of feeling they're stuck in right now. And the fight often shows up as defensiveness. That's like that shadowy aspect of fight that isn't accepted. So I'll just defend, So eucalyptus says, can we just dispense with all that and release that, give it over to the great mother, Mama Gaia, give it all over to the goddess or God or whoever you believe in, spirit, the universe, give it over to that higher intelligence, surrender it all, and ask that love moves through you. And so this blend that I'm sharing with you, Christina, is one that you can really come back to and say to yourself, okay, I have more clarity now of what I do want, what I am summoning forth. And for me, a question that I ask myself often, these questions are, what would love say? What would love do? And how would love respond right now? How can I show up as the embodiment of love right now to serve the higher good of all?
Thank you. It's beautiful. Just a question. I don't have cumin, but can I replace it with caraway?
Yeah, so you can, but I gave you fennel to replace it with. You can use fennel to replace. Yeah. But yes, if you feel to use caraway, definitely add caraway to that. Caraway is another seed and has that warming and, again, the digestive properties to help you to digest what's happening within you so that you're not just stuffing it down and around you as well. So you're not just running away from it. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, it's a pleasure. All right. Is there one more before we go? You shy. Narelle.
Hey, Vanessa.
Hi.
Again, I'm also sorry I missed the first half. I got here about 7:20, but you're amazing. I don't know how you know so much about the oils. It's incredible. I think mine I don't know, I think I probably need a counselor for mine, but you're very clever. So I think mine is in relation to family. So in particular, my mum and dad, they've had a dysfunctional marriage forever, ever. And whenever they call me, it's always stressful. They're always fighting, even though they've been married for 45, 50 years. It's ridiculous. And I'm the only one in the family who still speaks to them. So I guess I'm after something that's giving me the strength to still have a relationship with them, but to be able to tolerate them as well.
Mm-hmm.
At the moment, I'm running away. I'm hiding from phone calls and trying not to really have anything to do with them.
Yeah. I'm sorry this is happening for you right now. It's really interesting. I saw Vanilla show up first, and then I saw Osmanthus. So let me tell you a bit about Osmanthus, and I'll tell you a bit about Vanilla as well, because they're lesser known. But Osmanthus helps you to tap into her gift of comfort. So she brings the gift of comfort, which is really difficult in times like these, because we do go into that stress response around them. So I want to read a little bit about Osmanthus. Would that be okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah, and you can all close your eyes if you want to tap into this. And if you don't have Osmanthus, you need to get her from America, from the USA cart, because we don't have her here. But in the meantime, she's in the Console blend with Rose, which is super powerful. But here's something else I'll leave you all with. Paul, are we okay for time, babes? If I just go a little bit longer? Sorry, yeah. So you don't have her, right? So anytime you see a blend you love or an oil you're drawn to and you don't have them, you can call them to you, because it's vibrational medicine. And the plants and Mama Gaia, we're part of all of that. They're our family. They're our brothers and sisters. So you can literally close your eyes or leave them open and call the presence of Osmanthus and her spirit to bless you. And this is what I want to read a little bit about. Osmanthus offers emotional solace. She heals deeply and soothes your emotions, weaving a sense of harmony and peace to the core of your emotional body. Osmanthus helps you to detach and rise above all confusion and heaviness in order to discover freedom in the truth that you need to hear. She is especially potent in the transformational process of healing around issues of giving, receiving, and abundance. The plant's dark fruit are a contrast to her gentle flowers, reminding you of the need for both light and dark, bliss and pain, creation and destruction. Her lesson is that healing and joy do not come from adopting a Pollyanna approach, but rather through accepting and embracing the full gamut of human experiences. Osmanthus also brings this fresh hope. The other one is Tulsi. So Tulsi, also known as Holy Basil. Tulsi is associated with Lord Shiva. He's one of three of the triumvirate of the Hindu religion. So I'm religious. I believe in love. I believe that love is all there is. And so my father brought me up with many religions, and the Hindu tradition does sing into my core. And Lord Shiva is known as the Lord of Destruction, but there's so much more about that, because where there is destruction, that makes space for life. He paves the way for life to come through, right? So Tulsi is an adaptogen and helps us to adapt to whatever life is throwing at us, and quite frankly, whatever we're throwing at ourselves, because we're often our own worst enemy. So that adaptability and malleability with the combination of Osmanthus and Tulsi, we're coming into a place of joy, of release, of detachment from outcome. We're also coming into a space of balance. So Tulsi is a leaf, air element. That's the mind, calming the mind, helping us to focus on what we do want and what we're releasing. Osmanthus is in the water element, the flow of your emotions. So Osmanthus is working with your emotions, while Tulsi is working with your mind. Beautiful for meditation, creating coherence between your heart and your mind. And I don't know if Paul's spoken to you about Dr. Joe Dispenza, but he has some amazing meditations around creating heart, mind coherence. Then we have vanilla. So vanilla's gift is pleasure. My gift to you is pleasure, says vanilla. But this is definitely about succulence. Succulence and celebration, and also allure. So it increases our capacity to magnetize to us what it is we are calling forth. So vanilla, as you can see, the beautiful vanilla pod is dark. So vanilla will go with you into those darker recesses of the thoughts and the emotions, the shadow, to help you see the light. When you open a vanilla pod, you slice it open gently. It's full of seeds, all these choices we can make, those infinite possibilities. So vanilla takes us into a space of remembering our magnificence and our capacity to create the life of our choosing and relationships in the way that we want them. So vanilla will soothe the mind, the body, the emotions, and the spirit. She'll open you to that abundant energy. You know, it's like when you see things like pomegranates, it often reminds us of the womb, right? All those beautiful seeds and the color. Well, vanilla is very much like that as well. You know, reminding us of our femininity, of our divinity.
Yeah.
You know, of the masculinity. You know, for men and women, you can look at it and really relate to your own sex, your own actual sexual energy, as well as your organs, the sex organs that you're born with. So vanilla helps you to come into a place of pleasure again, of pleasure with who you are and how you are in the world and how you can relate to others in that space. Because vanilla is very unique. You know, there's thousands, like 250,000 or something. Don't quote me. I've got it written in the next edition of this book. But orchids, the flowers, but only one gives us vanilla, right? You know, and when I actually learned that so long ago, the early 2000s, I think, when I was studying food and nutrition. And vanilla, like cacao, is one of the superfoods. So I was studying it and I was like, holy heck. And if you think about that with us, we're like 1 in a million. We're miracles that we're even here, you know? So the vanilla reminds us about that. So she's a really good one for the sacral chakra and for coming back into your power as who you are in the world. Yeah.
Okay. Awesome. Thank you so much. I am drawn to vanilla, and as soon as they came out with it through the US, I was like, yep, I need to purchase. So I definitely have her on my wish list, I think. Sounds amazing. And I'm drawn to balance, and it has osmanthus in it, doesn't it? So yeah,
balance is a phenomenal, you know, essential oil to work with. Balance also has the blue tansy and the blue chamomile, which is German chamomile, my favorite chamomile. So balance is a great one to be working with. Also has black spruce. My God, one of my favorite essential oils as well. I have like this little bundle of top favorites, you know, that I use and lean into a lot. Balance as a blend is one, but also many of the oils in balance. You know, we've got black spruce, we have hoe leaf, we have frankincense, blue tansy, German chamomile, osmanthus, all in the FCO, you know?
Yeah, it's awesome. It's a great blend.
Yeah.
Beautiful. And thanks, Vanessa.
It's a pleasure. And you guys remember Digest-Zen to help you digest the troubles, the difficulties going around, you know, and easier to help you to breathe through it. And things like citronella, cedarwood, geranium, and arborvitae together to repel the energies that are dense and negative and that you don't want in your life, you know, that are affecting you deeply emotionally. You know, Terra Shield just on its own you can use for that. The lemon eucalyptus I could have added to that as well. Actually, I do have it here, but that's another good one to protect you, you know. So yeah. All right. How's that feeling, everyone? Is that good?
So good.
Yeah. All right. Please jump over to Instagram if you're there and follow me at Food Alchemy on Instagram. I can pop it in the chat, or Paul can for me. And you can subscribe to my newsletter. It only comes out once a month, and it comes out on fairy time. So there's no set date that she comes out, though my assistants are trying to create a set date. And I always have beautiful recipes, like food, but also, for the body. The December one will have a gorgeous free ebook for you all, so there's lots in there for you all. Amy, were you going to ask something, sweetie?
I'm just wondering if you have anybody that sells your books in New Zealand that we
Yeah, definitely. Just head over to the link are you on Insta?
Yeah.
Go to the link in my bio in Instagram, and you'll see gifts of the essential oils there. And when you click on it, you click on your country, and it has it. And I'm pretty sure she still has some in stock. Like, it's pretty much sold out worldwide, because our book was meant to come like September, October it was meant to be. She still hasn't landed. It's just with all the shipping delays and everything with COVID. But I'm pretty sure we still have, last I checked, we still had some in New Zealand. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you so much. It's going to be my Christmas present to myself.
Yay. I'm so happy to hear that. Thank you, darling. Yeah. Babe, I think we're good. I think we're done. Thank you all so much for having me. It's been an honor. You didn't even know me, and you just let me into the world of your hearts and your emotions, and I'm so grateful. I feel very blessed.
Share some love in the chat. It's always good to hear all that. Although I was working away in the background, some other end of month things, I was listening into that whole call. So it's always really interesting to listen what's going on for people, and to hear what supports there are for us that we maybe have right at our fingertips and don't even know about. So
something I didn't mention that I'm a big believer in is the DDR Prime. It is phenomenal. Like, every day, you guys, immune support, mental support, emotional, everything. It's incredible, and it's very high vibration essential oils in there, so great for your spiritual body. And just look at the supplements and notice what you're drawn to, because things like the Mito 2 Max for energy, that has some great support for you energetically as well, with those incredible herbs. But that's a chat for another day. But remember those. I just had to say DDR Prime, because that's like my favorite. Yeah. And adaptive, Serenity, Copaiba soft gels. Holy heck, yes. I didn't even touch on adaptive, but yes.
And sorry, Vanessa, just quickly, do you take DDR Prime along with your lifelong vitality as well?
So I don't take lifelong vitality.
Okay.
I'm going to be totally honest with you. I just don't. I take like Mito 2 Max, Yarrow Pump. I take what's suiting me at the moment, just going through perimenopause, and what's really working for me, for my body, which is Serenity and Copaiba at night. Then I take Mito 2 Max when I feel it, DDR Prime daily, Yarrow Pump. I love the turmeric. Oh my gosh, it's amazing. I use Digestin and On Guard Plus as and when I need, and I'm a big fan of Terrazymes, every meal Terrazymes. Paul takes DDR Prime though and LLV together, and most everyone I know, they do LLV and DDR Prime. Yeah, it's safe. It's totally safe to do it, and you can have one with your morning dose and one with your evening dose, or just have one once a day. But yeah. Do what feels good for you. Trust your intuition, ladies. LLV is phenomenal. Don't think I don't take it because it's not phenomenal. It's just I've had to rejig some things as I've gone through crazy, hormone world. I love the doTERRA women's support stuff. Yeah. I think that's
Beautiful.
it. Yeah.
You got it covered. Do you want to hand over hosting to me, babe?
Yes, my darling.
Under participants.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's done now. I think something just came in the chat. Did someone have a question? Oh, okay. No, that's my pleasure. And so